Hello, this is Alex with GrowHow. Today we're going to do sprinkler system drip conversion 101, part 1. Really, it's going to have to be a series. I'm just going to cover the basics of where I'm at right now, and I'll have to cover some other stuff later. Well, first of all, since I'm converting an existing system over, there are a couple things I need to do. One of them is I need to make sure that all the heads I'm using are either cut off, tied off, or they're converted to something that can handle drip. Right here, this is what I'm using for my conversion. This is made by Rainbird. This is made to go to 1.5 inch drip tubing. Got this right here. Now the reason this is important is because if you take this apart on the inside, you'll find you've got a couple of parts. Right there, that's a pressure regulator. That'll cut my pressure down to 30 psi so I don't blow up any of my drip system. That's very important. And then, if I can get it out, we also have a filter. Now, if you've got good clean culinary water, you might be okay. I have a filter in my system already. It's good to have it, but I have so much dirty water that it gets pretty junked up. So this will make sure that my conversion is not going to blow my system, and that it's going to have clean water, or at least as clean as I can get it, so it doesn't mess up my emitters. We'll get to the emitters later. Now, if I can speak right now, you see this screws on top here. There's a lot of play in this system, so you actually have to work to get it kind of tight. That's okay. That's how it doesn't pull out. This doesn't pop up. I can put this in the ground. Typically, I want this level with the ground or slightly under it. I may go higher. I still haven't decided yet. This is about 13 bucks. They have one that also connects to, I call it an octopus. It connects to a bunch of 1/4 inch drip tubing. This one's going to be more flexible for what I'm using it for. And I've got a second one, because each head I've got running, I have to run one of these on. Right now, I've cut off 2 of the heads to the sprinkler system, so I'm going to use 2 of these. You cannot run spray, you cannot run rotors effectively on the same line as you have a drip. It just isn't going to work. Now I've got a roll of this. This is distribution tubing. And I make sure it's distribution tubing. It says distribution tubing. There are tubing types that have drip emitters in them. I will be using that for part of the project, but not this first part. This is just to get water from point A to point B after it goes through the filter and the pressure regulator. I've probably got tools that can handle this, but this is just basically a hole punch to put holes in the distribution tubing. Just kind of sharp. I may end up using my pocket knife instead of this. I've gotten an awl on it that was probably more effective at it, but I'm going to try actually using something that's made for it. This is 1/4 inch tubing. You notice how you got the difference between that tubing there? It's about 1/2 inch. This is 1/4 inch. This is going to run from there to wherever I want my water to go. And in this case, most of what I'm watering is going to be trees, so I have my 2 gallon per hour pressure compensating dripper. That means that this is controlled. It doesn't just throw water at it at less or more amounts. It's going to be fairly accurate to 2 gallons per hour, not minute, per hour for my drip. I could get half, I could get 1 gallon per hour. Going with other brands, actually this brand actually makes up to 4 that I've seen, at least on the shelf. I've seen them get as high as 6 or 8. Right now my trees are young. These will do just fine. I'm also going to mention this is Orbit brand. I don't like them for sprinklers. I hate them for sprinklers. I hate them for valves. I hate them for just about everything. But unless I go to a sprinkler specific supply place, I cannot get irrigation parts that are another company. I could have mail ordered something from other companies. I could have timed myself on to get to the sprinkler store on time when they weren't busy. Didn't happen. Most of what I'm doing, I'm considering for the moment temporary, so hopefully this stuff is going to be good, and maybe it'll be great. Their sprinklers I hate, their valves I hate, their their sprinkler controllers I hate. Hopefully the drip will be okay. And then last of all, I've got a couple things here. These are so I can connect my drip hose onto it. I've got these that have little valves on them. I'm going to put these out towards where I've got a bunch of got a potted stuff, so I don't expect to have that potted stuff forever, but it allows me a little bit of stuff so I can water the pots on the sidewalk or on the driveway without constantly having to hand water them. I mean, I still have to hand water them because this may not give us enough water, but this will be a good thing. And I'm also want to beta test them because eventually I'm going to turn my garden area into drip. I've got overhead now. These will allow me to turn off the heads I don't, or the tubing I don't need. Valves are very important. Valves really add a lot of flexibility to the system. Not enough people use them after their main valve, so give those a try maybe. These are just generic, we call them barbs, and you put them in your 1/2-inch tubing, and then it connects that to your 1/4 inch. Now, I also have to say I can put this directly into that 1 inch. I don't necessarily want my whole 1 inch going to every spot. The spaghetti tubing, the 1/4 inch is really an asset there. And that's basically what I need. There's one thing I forgot, and that's on the ends of these. There's usually something that allows you, usually figure 8, to take a chunk of this, bend it back. I have done that with both zip ties, and I've used electrical tape. I didn't buy those, didn't even think to buy them. I'll just use tape. I can even use string if I do it right. Just make sure it doesn't leak. Okay, there is your basic kit, your basic setup for converting drip. If you're going to do a really, really big system, it's going to be a pain in the tush. My system's got 2 heads on it. It's still going to be a pain in the tush. That's just the way it is. Also keep in mind that all these drip parts are more delicate than your usual sprinkler. They're going to be more likely to break. If you step on them, this kind of plastic is small enough and brittle enough. These are going to break. Those barb couplings are going to break. Be ready to check your sprinkler system on a drip on a regular basis. Now, I'm going to call it quits for this video, and I'm actually going to go start hooking this up, and then that will be probably part 2 in the series. But hey, I'm not there yet. This is still part 1. Converting a sprinkler system to a drip line 101, part 1. This is Alex Grover with GrowHow. Please, if you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button, check out a few other videos, and if you want to get notifications every time I post a video, hit the little bell button after you're subscribed, and that'll get you there. Thank you very much for your time, and hopefully I can help you with some of your projects. If you have any suggestions for videos, go ahead, put them in the comments below. I will pay attention to that, and I will see if I can meet your needs. Thank you very much. Manana.